everyone. It's Wacko Bob here from the Wacko Weekly, which you can hear every Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. And you can catch that at www.blogtalkradio.com/thedarkmatch. It's also the same spot where I also air my wrestling show, The Dark Match, every Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. But to get down to the point on what's going on here, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about the Olympics. This is one of two issues I'll be talking about tonight. This first one here has to do with the Olympics and what I saw go on. I'm very proud of both Shawn Johnson and Nastia Liukin and the performances they gave. However, it seems like the Chinese basically do whatever they can to dominate in events. You know, when it came down to the individual events for each routine, you know, the Chinese were dominating. And yes, we are in Beijing, China, and just like I feel with the little 15-year-old Russian in the individual all-arounds, she should have gotten the bronze medal over the Chinese that won that bronze. And and I think if this were not in Beijing, China, that they would have questioned her getting the bronze medal. It would have been an issue if it were the gold medal. They would have made the issue known that there was some partisan interest if she went on to win the gold medal even after all her mistakes. But I do have to say that I do feel that you know, she should not have even got the bronze. And Chinese is really starting to dominate with medals. America, we're up to the second half of the Olympic Games, and track and field's going on, and America normally dominates in track and field. It's just not happening this year. And honestly, I'm a bit surprised that America couldn't do better with this sport. I thought they would have done their domination as usual, but you know, they got some competition, and if I were the United States Olympic Committee, I'd think about really looking for really broadening their horizons a little bit and finding more people in our country that would be interested in competing more. You know, whether it comes down to the U.S. Nationals or the World Games or the Goodwill Games, whatever they have that they do as a prelim to the Olympics. You know, and really get some better talent out there. And they might be better off too, you know, if they didn't try and bring a lot of the same people back every 4 years. It's gotten to the point to where it is ridiculous now, and I think it's better off if they didn't, you know, constantly bring people back. You know, the Olympics are supposed to be about the young amateurs, and I don't think it's fair that, with the exception of maybe the gymnastics, you know, in certain events there, you know, because most of them who start off are sometimes just barely in high school. And I think it's I think it's a lot fairer if they make the games more interesting, you know, and really just allow the amateurs to do it. Stop bringing in the pros, stop bringing people back to try to repeat because you're obsessed with winning the gold. You know, maybe you can go to the Olympics two times, you know, in the span of 4 years, but after that, you need to pass the torch to younger people. And I make that point crystal clear because with what you got going on with expansions and so many of the pro sports, you know, like basketball, you know, which they're talking about expansions even with our bad economy. Football's another story, which I won't get into. You won't ever find that in the Olympics. I know they did baseball one time, which they ought to probably look at baseball or softball for that. And really just in boxing, you know, as well, to really give the spotlight to them because, you know, talent scouts need to look at that if they're going to take the next level of pros. And I don't think it's fair that pros, you know, go into the Olympic Games. You know, like especially in basketball, or if you were to look at tennis or something like that. And I don't think it's a fair deal at all where that goes. Granted, basketball now has let a lot of NBA players go, and now with basketball, if an NBA player plays, they have to play for their respective countries now, and not for just the United States of America. You know, I think that's very, very fair. You know, but let's see the Olympics get back to what it should be. It should be about the amateurs. It should be about giving them the spotlight, the younger people, because for some of them, it's the only spotlight they're going to get. You know, take USA Hockey with the Winter Olympics. If you look at what happened there in 1980, none of those guys made it to the NHL. But these amateur players defeated the pro-Soviet players, Soviet Union players, that were always dominant in hockey and always dominant in medals, period, at that time for the Winter Olympics. And they defeated them and ultimately got the gold. So let's see things go back to the amateurs. The name Michael Eruzione is cemented in hockey for life just because he scored the winning goal that defeated the Soviet Union. And Eruzione was the team captain for Team USA, and I'll tell you right now, you know, would Eruzione have settled for the fact that he never did make it big in hockey like he wanted to? A lot of college hockey players want to go to the NHL, but they have to go to a lesser hockey league first. You know, same deal with baseball. You know, they got to go. College baseball players wind up going into the minor leagues of AA or AAA, and have to do their time there before they go to the pros. Well, they are pros, but they would have to go before going to the major leagues. Let's use that point. You know, basketball is the only one that has a college draft, and yeah, the college players will be up there in the draft. But let's also look at the Olympic Games, you know, to put some of these people into the draft too. Especially if you're talking about expansions. You don't want talent to thin out, or a team just to suck because of the lack of talent. But let's get the Olympics back to what they once were. Anyways, catch my next video. I will be talking about the missing little girl that just turned 3, Kaylee. And there's a lot to be said there, and I'm doing that as a request from a YouTube listener. And to hear more about any of these issues, or to get more involved in the issues, you can call into the Wacko Weekly, which airs every Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Some people who live in other countries, it comes on like 7 o'clock at night, you know, on Saturday night. And some of them it's even, because I have Australian listeners too, it's Sunday morning. And I love my Aussie listeners. You know, they hustle and stress themselves to stay awake to listen to my show, and they're some of the best people around, I'll tell you. I love all my listeners, and especially I'm going to get a lot more out of them when officially Ariel does come to co-host. But anyways, I'll catch my next video. It's going to be coming up immediately following this one.